I'm a low-time pilot, and I have less than 100 hours. I just got my private pilot certificate back in October of this year, 2024. And since then, I've been taking various family members up, like my wife and my son, on point A to point B trips. I did take a rather lengthy trip down to see my sister in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is my longest trip to date. But I've been wanting to just get back and practice some of the basics of taking off and landing, getting in the pattern, locating various airports, and just have some training time. And I like to record these so that I can go back later and see all the mistakes that I've made. And I make plenty of mistakes still as a very low time pilot. And so I tried to record that trip yesterday. I had 5 different airports planned. I started at my home airport in Luray, went north to Front Royal, located, landed there, took off, went to Newmarket, located that airport, landed there, took off, went to Bridgewater, located that one, landed there, took off, went to Shenandoah, located that one. That's right next door to Bridgewater. You almost don't even get off the ground before you're entering the pattern of Shenandoah from Bridgewater. Took off from that one, went back home to the north to Luray. But my batteries didn't last through the whole trip. I got the recording from Luray up to Front Royal and partly towards Newmarket before the batteries ran out. The voice recorder battery lasted the whole trip, but my GoPros are not lasting as long as I'd like them to. Originally, I thought it was maybe the disc, so I bought bigger drives to go in them, but the batteries are not lasting as long. So I may have to research how I can plug them in and see if I can get some longer recordings. I don't know how these other YouTubers do it. I may reach out to them because I've seen some longer trips than I've taken, and they are able to capture the takeoff and the landing. So I don't know if they're cutting out the middle or what they're doing. I don't want to spend a lot of time fooling around with cameras. I basically turn them on and forget about them. And it makes for some dry content, so I may have to voice over some of this because I'm concentrating on flying the airplane, not creating YouTube content. I'm mainly creating these videos for myself so that I can go back and review them as a learning tool. These are not instructional videos by any means. These are just what I have learned and am continuing to learn at every single flight. So let's take a look at the trip that I took towards Luray. I did have that was an interesting one because I had to do a go around, and I have not done many go arounds other than during my flight training. I haven't done any on my own time, except for this one. I was too high. I was going to have to force it down, and anytime you have to force something to work, it's the wrong thing to do. So I ended up going around. There's, if you know anything about the Front Royal Airport, there's a lot of glider activity. This day was no exception. There were a couple of gliders out. There were a couple of other general aviation aircraft trying to come in and take off. So it was, I wouldn't say really busy, but there was some traffic to have to deal with, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I need all that kind of practice. So I got in there and had to go do a go around.
Wrap. Right mag, left mag, good drop, carb heat, magnetos, vacuum check, oil temperature is coming up, oil pressure looks good, alternators charging, carb heat, electric fuel pump off, fuel pressure check. Throttle retard. Looks good. Master switch on. Flight instruments check. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Fuel selector. We're going to switch this to the left tank. Fuel selector. Electric fuel pump is on. Engine gauges. Oil temperature looks good. Fuel pressure, oil pressure. Carb heat is off. Seat backs and erect. Mixture is set. Primer's locked. Flaps set. Trim tab set. Controls up, down, up, down, up, down. Doors latched. Take up the full runway, turn towards the traffic pattern. Luray traffic, Cherokee 5773, informed departing runway 22, heading south, Luray traffic.
Just kidding. I'm not actually heading south. I'm heading north to Front Royal, and I'll realize that I made a mistake in my next radio call and correct it. But that's why I'm making these videos, so I can learn from all the mistakes that I make.
60. And we're off. Pitching for 85. There's my 85. Over the obstacles, gonna bleed the flaps. Luray traffic, correction, Cherokee 5773 informed, gonna depart towards the north, turning right crosswind, runway 22, Luray traffic. Luray traffic, Cherokee 73 informed, turning right downwind, runway 22, Luray traffic. She's climbing today.
Lieutenant, thermometer there is left downwind. Left pattern entry, while ultralights, gyrocopters, and gliders are to use a right pattern entry. Popping in for cheap fuel, our 24/7 self-service fuel farm offers 100 low lead at $4.99 a gallon.
That's a good price, $4.99 a gallon.
Front Royal Warren County Airport. Automated weather observation 1633 Zulu weather wind 060 at 4 visibility 10 clear below 12,000 temperature 2 Celsius dew point -9 altimeter 3082. Merry Christmas from the Front Royal Warren County Airport. Fixed-wing aircraft are to use a standard left pattern entry, while ultralights, gyrocopters, and gliders are to use a right pattern entry. Popping in for cheap fuel, our 24/7 self-service fuel farm offers 100 low lead at $4.99 a gallon.
So you see me fumbling around with my iPad because I learned a technique using ForeFlight to help me enter the pattern, which in turn helps me locate the runway when I'm having trouble. And you basically go to the flight plan tab, hit edit, make sure you're on the edit tab, click procedure and approach. Then you choose which runway has the best wind from the weather check that you do on the radio. And from there, you can choose 45, cross midfield teardrop, etc. I thought I had chosen cross midfield teardrop, but you'll see coming up I chose something else. I think I must have chosen 45 because the magenta line was not going across the runway as I was expecting.
Traffic, 10 o'clock, 1 mile, 100 feet above.
This is where I thought ForeFlight was going to take me across the field, but I messed something up and it's taken me to the east instead. So I'm well above 3,000 feet at this point, not in the traffic pattern, but also not across midfield where I said I was going to be. I probably should have made a call updating people of my new location, but this is where I start my descent, planning to make a right-hand turn to pick up the 45 left downwind into 10.
Ready for takeoff, runway 10, front royal.
Ready for takeoff 10, you say? Okay, I'm not making a right-hand turn because that's going to put me in the way of the departing traffic, so let's make a left-hand turn. And this is where it all starts to go wrong. If you look at my altitude, you'll notice there's not a descent, so this is not lining up to be a stabilized approach. I'm at pattern altitude, but I need to be descending as I go so that I can be lined up and down where I need to be for the final.
Front roll traffic, Cherokee 73 uniform, turning final, runway 10, front roll traffic.
Traffic is now entering left downwind for runway 32 full stop. Sorry, runway 35 full stop.
Traffic, 10 o'clock, 1 mile, 900 feet above.
And here you can see I'm trying to force my altitude down. It's 1,000 feet a minute descent, which is not good. And I'll quickly realize things are falling apart and abort and do a go around.
Short final runway 10. $500.
Front roll traffic, Cherokee 73 informed, going around. Front roll traffic.
Final 10 and full air brakes.
There we go. Finally a nice descent, and this one's going to turn out to be much better than the last attempt.
Here, 42 Juliet, currently at 4,500. Front row traffic, Husky 60850, taxiing runway 28 for departure. Front row, show traffic.
Front roll traffic, Cherokee 73 informed, turning final 10, front roll traffic.
Royal traffic, Skyhawk 5195 Yankee, about 12 miles northeast of the airfield, setting up for a 45 entry left downwind of 10, front Royal.
Still some room for improvement. Not the best descent I've ever seen, but at least I got it down safely this time.
Front roll of traffic, Cherokee 73, inform back taxiing runway 10, front roll of traffic.
Are you full stop or departing 10?
Full stop, I'm going to be clearing the runway just 1 second.
Roger, thanks.
That runway is tricky because it's on an angle with the mountain. So the mountains are here and the runway is kind of at a 45. So I kept trying to turn kind of parallel to the mountain instead of parallel to the runway, and that didn't work out very well. Obviously, I did a go around, came back and tried it again, and that was better. Not amazing, but better, and that's why I'm out here today, is to do some practice.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it here. My intention was to have a lot more video at the other destinations, but my GoPros ran out shortly after this, and I hope to make some more content and show some improvements. I'm learning a lot, and this was a great day of learning. I had some other mistakes at the other destinations. One I'll share quickly, because this is probably going to be longer than I intended, is when I got to Bridgewater, I was trying to pull up the weather, and it was not working at all, and I didn't know at the time if there was a problem with my radio or if I had the wrong frequency. I checked and double checked, and I was certain that I had the right frequency, but ForeFlight was able to tell me what runway had the best wind, and when I got on the ground, I confirmed with the windsock that it was the correct runway. I probably, in hindsight, should have looked at the windsock from the air, but I did not. I trusted ForeFlight. So that's another thing I need to work on. And then when I got down on the ground, I checked with my other radio and it wasn't working. And then when I got home and checked, I saw there's a NOTAM that says that the weather is out. So another mistake I made is not checking the NOTAMs even for the local airports and these little short practice runs. I should still check NOTAMs for all the airports and make sure there's not an issue like the weather being out. And if the weather radio frequency is out, I should check the windsock from the air. And so that's how I learn, is by doing and practicing and reviewing video footage like that. So if you see anything else that I might have made a mistake on and didn't call it out, please let me know in the comments below.